Hello everybody, welcome to Air Wrestling. Daniel Terry here with you, my co-host John Diamond. And John, big things going on here with Air Wrestling right now, especially today.
Got that big tag team match today. Payne has to team up with Rick Roberts against Draven Lee and Mountain Man.
Of course, Kevin Akers coming in from Board of Directors and making that match last week. We saw that, and I am, myself personally, very happy to see the board coming in and stepping in and giving the people at home at least an opportunity to have some clarification and at least have a winner in some of the stuff that's going on there in wrestling right now.
Well, we know as soon as he announced it, Payne was not happy, Rick Roberts was not happy, they were mad at each other, they were mad at Kevin, but we don't know how Mountain Man feels about it. But you did get word with Draven Lee last week, after last week's show, you got comments from him, right?
I did. We're going to show you that interview with Draven Lee. And then after that, we're going to take a short commercial break. And after the break, we got another match coming up from Dexter York. Dexter York trying to go 2-0 here with Air Wrestling. We're looking forward to that as well. But folks, we're going to break away. Be right back. Hello everybody, I'm here with Draven Lee, and Draven, wanted to ask you a question. We heard Kevin Akers come in and make the match. You and the Mountain Man taking on Payne and Rick Roberts. We know Payne and Rick Roberts don't like each other, but we also know Mountain Man not the easiest guy in the world to get along with either. I wanted to get your thoughts on that match.
I've never really stood and talked to the Mountain Man. Strange thing about it, I was going to win a match and he came and pushed me off the top rope for absolutely no reason. So I have to ask myself, how am I going to trust a man that's going to come out without ever meeting me and cost me a match? I don't.
Well, I think that's how the match got made. I think that you guys have kind of been intertwined with each other, and I think the comment was made earlier, we can't seem to get a clear-cut winner in anything we're doing right now in Air Wrestling, and it seems to be coming at the expense of the television championship. We can't seem to get anything lined out on that.
Well, I guess somebody in this tag match has to get a clear-cut victory then.
That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like that Kevin Akers and J.J. Wendell are setting this match up for. But I am looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be something the fans at home are really going to enjoy. We'll be right back. On November 10th, Air Wrestling returns to the Oneida High School gym. As Draven Lee looks to realize a dream, he'll have to defeat Payne, the reigning and two-time Air Wrestling Television Champion. Don't miss this big main event, plus many more great matches. That's at the Oneida High School Gym, November 10th. Bell time 7 p.m. Admission just $5. 6 and under, absolutely free. Alright, John, here we go. We're going to see Dexter York again this week. And he's going to be taking on another newcomer. Had one match with us, successful outing. And I'm talking about Ron Sexton. And both these guys right now, 1-0 with Air Wrestling.
Against the same man, Rogue.
Yeah, that is interesting. How they're both, debuting against Rogue. Is Rogue like our debut guy now?
It looks like it.
But anyway, here you see Dexter going right to the armbar. I'm real interested to see how Dexter's going to stack up with somebody with the and then, well, I started saying a nice reversal by Ron, and then Dexter holds on, comes right back out. But anyway, what I was going to say, I'm interested to see how Dexter handles somebody like Ron with so much experience.
I agree. It is going to be interesting.
I don't think you're going to see the same style of match that you seen last week with Rogue.
I would imagine not. Right now, we've seen a little bit of Dexter style, a little bit of Ron style. Both are quite a bit different from Rogue, so I think it should be interesting.
Well, now, I will tell you, from being very familiar with Dexter, I don't think we really got to see him last week cut loose and really get to see what he brings to the table. But
it may be one of those things, John. Uh, he may be trying to hold something in reserve because he knows that there's some awfully big fish here in air wrestling that he's going to try to tackle. And I think maybe he don't want to show his whole arsenal, if you follow what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying there, but who's to say it's not the same situation with Ron Sexton?
Well, we don't know that. And I mean, it seems that Dexter's, obviously, if you're watching on TV at home right now, you can see Dexter's a very fit and trim athlete. He's got a lot of experience. I guess Dexter's been in the wrestling business somewhere around 10 years or so.
And Ron's been at, 85, 90 years?
John, come on, man.
Well, I mean, come on. I mean, the top of his head's platinum. He's been around a while.
Well, you look at it that way, but I look at it like that's probably an advantage for Ron.
I'm not saying it's an insult. I'm just saying he's got experience. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I've said that, and then you chimed in with that nonsense.
I just wanted to put it a different way.
Okay. Just so we clarify that you wanted to put it a different way. It sounded awful insulting. And here you see Dexter York. What's he going to do? He's going to shoot him off the ropes right here, maybe? No, going for a chop. Oh. And I tell you what, man, that Dexter York, he's chop happy. I mean, he will chop the blood out of your chest if he gets a chance.
I don't think I would want to be in there trading shoulder blocks with Ron if I was Dexter's size.
No, Ron is definitely a put together individual. A lot of size in those arms and shoulders for Ron.
I mean, you got to give him credit. He's in great shape for a 175-year-old man.
You do know he's going to get to see this.
I know he is, but I'll just hope that he got his hearing aid turned off.
Well, why don't you just not say it? Then you won't have to hope for his hearing aid to be off.
Well, which one's more likely?
For one thing, he don't use hearing aids. You're exaggerating.
Maybe a little. He has one of them big old horns you stick in your ear. They use
come on, right? John. But one thing you can say about Ron definitely is he does have the advantage right here.
He does. He got head scissors there. He's choking the life out of Dexter. I'm surprised he hasn't tapped out yet.
I'm going to say this. Both of these guys right here, regardless of what happens in this match, both of these guys, I think, are a very, very good fit for air wrestling.
Well, so far I agree with you. I wouldn't recommend either one of them going after Payne's Era Television Championship.
Who do you think needs to be wrestling for that? You bring that up every week in every match. Who's the number one contender right now?
Right now, Draven Lee is.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Who do you think should be challenging for that title?
Well, if you want a great match, and I mean somebody that could actually give Payne some competition, your best bet is to have Payne wrestle himself.
Yeah, I figured you would probably say something like that.
No matter who wins, we all win.
I don't think it works that way.
Well, I might send an email to JJ and find out.
Yeah, remind me whenever you send that. I want to see it when he sees you in the hall when we go to the office.
I will.
Just remind me of that. That's going to be interesting. But anyway, here you got Dexter York. He's got the side headlock applied. And I'm going to tell you something, man. I made the comment earlier. I'm really waiting to see Dexter turn loose and really open up the playbook, so to speak.
I think Ron Sexton went into this match.
And that's a surprise right there.
Yeah,
I don't know if you caught that. That Dexter York, what just happened?
I think he tripped and fell out of the ring.
Maybe momentum?
I think that's what it was. But like I was going to say, I think Ron Sexton underestimated Dexter, though. Because I think he expected Dexter, seeing as he's a smaller guy, to keep a quick pace and to come off the top rope a lot. That way, he went in expecting that if he got Dexter grounded, he would have the upper hand. But Dexter York has shown so far that he could wrestle on the mat. So, expecting Dexter to more or less beat himself out of a mistake was the wrong way to go, and that's what it looks like Ron Sexton's been doing. I mean, right now he does have the upper hand, but through the whole match, he looks like he's been surprised when Dexter puts him in a headlock or an armbar.
Well, I think when you see Dexter's, it's not like he's a 20-year-old rookie or nothing.
No.
But Dexter's still a very young wrestler. I mean, for a guy to be around as long as Dexter has and still be as young as he is, that's really unusual. But I consider Dexter to be somewhat of a veteran in the ring.
I think he just kneed him right in the nose.
I think he did too. That could have been it.
1, 2.
And I kind of got the feeling Dexter was going to put his foot on the rope and maybe concerned that the referee wouldn't see it. Went ahead and kicked out.
He would have conserved more energy that way.
But we have seen matches end with wrestlers' foots on the rope, and the referee just not see it.
Rogue thought he had to win last week, but turns out Dexter has his foot on the rope.
Hey, it may have been a little bit of watching game film right there to maybe not make that mistake again this week. That could go the other way,
He's in the ropes.
He definitely knows how to use the ring. And I think, like you said, I think Ron's just a little bit, maybe getting a little perturbed that Dexter's kind of been able to go with him here as far as the ground game goes, as far as experience goes. I think he's a little surprised.
I think Ron's having to change his game plan mid-match, which is always a risky move. Oh, big neck breaker.
Ron's saying that's it.
Well, he might have been right if he would have covered him right as he done it. But no, see, 2 count.
Which is very unusual that Ron would do something like that. I know he's a very good athlete, very good wrestler. But it seems, since coming to Air Wrestling, it seems like Ron's very interested in the showboat aspect of wrestling right now. I don't know why.
I think he's thrown off. Because I think Dexter surprised him.
Well, here you see, and this move right here, folks, when you've got, does he have a double underhook? I can't tell from this vantage point. But no, a front face lock. And that move right there is hard to get out of, but you see Dexter York, talented enough and skilled enough to get out, and then gets, it looked like a shot to the throat for his trouble.
What it looked like. And now he goes for a choke.
And see, that's the thing with Ron. A lot of wrestlers, they'll consume a lot of energy trying to get the ref to get his attention, get him distracted, and then they'll try something like that. Ron will just do it right in front of the referee.
Well, he knows he got 5 seconds.
Yeah, and that's what the point I was going to make. He knows the rules. He's been around this game a long, long time.
I'm pretty sure he'd been around before the rules.
And there
were
you
invented.
see come on, John. There you see a suplex and a big elbow drop and a miss, and Dexter York rolls out of the way. And what's he going to do right here, John?
Big clothesline.
Was it a clothesline? Maybe a punch? I couldn't tell from our vantage point which.
But that was an elbow.
That was an elbow. And a kick. And here you got Dexter shooting him off the ropes. And went for one of those patented Dexter York drop kicks. And nobody home.
And now Ron finally did connect with that elbow drop.
Looks like he's going to go for a slam, and a beautiful slam by Ron Sexton.
He's going for the cover here.
And
1,
yes, going
2.
for a cover.
He lifts him
now
up.
That right there, I don't agree with that. Don't understand that whatsoever.
No.
And what we got right here?
Roll-up. 1, 2, 3.
And Dexter York with a huge victory, 2-0 right here in Air Wrestling. John Diamond.
Both roll-up.
Both of them with a roll-up. We're breaking new ground. 2 victories, 2 weeks in a row with a wrestling move. We'll be right back, everybody. On November 10th, Aero Wrestling returns to the Oneida High School gym. As Draven Lee looks to realize a dream, he'll have to defeat Pain, the reigning and two-time Era Wrestling Television Champion. Don't miss this big main event, plus many more great matches. That's at the Oneida High School Gym, November 10th. Bell time 7 p.m. Admission just $5. 6 and under, absolutely free.
Welcome back, everybody. Big win for Dexter York.
Well, yeah,
2-0.
More Dexter York. Yeah, we won't care about Dexter York. What we care about is two things. We care about that huge main event coming up here in just a few minutes. And we care about next week, Oneida High School, 7 p.m. Payne defends his title against Draven Lee. Everyone's been wanting to see the television championship put on the line against Draven Lee, and they finally get to see it, and I guarantee they're going to be disappointed because it's not going to be a competition.
Well, you know, I've heard you say this each and every week, and the fact of the matter is that's why we have a match. We don't, you know, you got your view on it. Folks at home, you guys got your view on it. I think Draven Lee's got as much chance to be the champion as anybody. And I think he's going to show people that. But that's not all we got going on, is it?
I heard Oneida's favorite, David Michaels, will probably be there.
Yeah, I've heard that. And looking forward to seeing all those guys up there at Oneida High School. And we're looking forward to getting back there where wrestling is. And this is our hometown. And hope you guys come out there and support us. And let's not forget, November 10th, also leading into huge things coming up in the future. We got big stuff coming up in December. We're going to be touching on that next week on Era TV. And we're very excited right now about what's going on. We're also excited about what's getting ready to happen right now.
Yep. We got that big tag team match coming up right now, but I got to remind everybody, Era Store is still open.
That's right. Always open 24 hours a day. EraWrestling.com.
Water bottles, all of your favorite Era wrestlers, except Dexter York.
Well, we'll have Dexter York merchandise, I'm sure, coming up in the very near future.
There's plenty of Pain.
Yeah, I noticed that. Pain's. You got anything to do with that store?
No. But I did notice that you can get a shirt with the Era logo and the TV title around your waist.
You gonna get you one of those?
I might.
You never had a belt, have you?
No.
Well, there's a chance.
Let's go to the match.
Here's the match I've been waiting for.
Well, I agree. I'm interested to see what goes on. I don't think any guy in there likes the other one.
Well, I don't think many of them have anything really against Mike the referee there.
I don't know any wrestler that likes the official.
Well, you got a point.
But Mike's a real good guy, and we're glad to have him with us right here in Era Wrestling, doing a fantastic job for us, John.
Yep, I like that he's on the Mountain Man's case already.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something. He's got his work cut out for him with this one.
Well, I'd have to agree. It's such an odd tag team match. Kevin Akers came out of left field with this one.
Well, I think you're right. It is. It's odd, but man, you can't argue the fact that it makes perfect sense.
It does, but you know these four guys ain't gonna like it.
No, but hopefully we get something in some way, shape, or form resolved coming out of this match.
Well, I mean, Draven Lee, and we saw his comments earlier. He said he seemed very positive there's going to be a pinfall in this match. But look at history. When these four guys are involved, rarely is there a pinfall involved.
Well, I will say this, though. I know what here you see Mountain Man trying to come in, and here you see...
Rick Roberts is in there. There was no tag on that one.
I don't know, but it seems to me that maybe even though Rick and Payne don't like each other very much, they may have communicated just a little bit before this match.
Well, they do have one main thing in common. They like to hurt somebody.
Well, I will tell you this. Neither one of them really liked the Mountain Man that much either. I mean, we saw Payne against the Mountain Man.
Neither one liked Draven Lee either. We saw Rick Roberts against Draven Lee.
Yeah, I mean, but Rick doesn't really like anybody that much.
No.
But I think right now you're seeing why Draven Lee is the #1 contender for the television championship. He's able to hold his own, and he's really. I don't want to say this. I don't want to take anything away from the Mountain Man. Draven's really at a disadvantage. A Mountain Man not known for as being a tag wrestler.
No, he's not. And right now, what we've seen is, so far, we're just a few minutes in.
Look at this suplex, by the way. Man.
Standing suplex, and he was standing a long time.
Yeah, he must have went a good 40 seconds.
So what we've seen so far from Mountain Man, as far as being a tag team partner goes,
he's more of a hindrance so far
Yeah.
than he is an asset to Draven Lee.
see, all he's doing right now is distracting the referee.
And here you got Rick Roberts, and what's he going to do? I think he was going to try to come off the rope.
And he
Maybe
did.
Yeah,
He double axed on the leg, looked like.
which is not a bad strategy. Take the high flyer's legs out from under him.
It's
He's not-
unorthodox to double axe on the leg, but it worked.
It does work.
So was that big stomp right there.
And here we see Rick again this week, not even bothering putting ring gear on. Doesn't seem like he cares much. And, you know, we've known Rick for many, many years, and this is pretty much unlike him.
I think at this point, he's not looking to impress anybody. All he wants to do is fight. He's got certain people he wants to hurt, to retire, as he says. And, of course, right now that certain person is Mountain Man, who just got smacked in the face by Pain, by the way.
But I'm going to tell you something. You know, even though I don't agree with the tactics, Rick Roberts and Payne are working very, very good together as a tag team.
Well, I mean, they've got one major thing in common. They like hurting somebody. And right now, that somebody's Draven Lee, who is right now having to fight off two guys.
And you see, right there's as far as tag wrestling goes, that right there shows you how smart they are in this match. They're cutting the ring off. They're staying on their end. Even when Draven started to get the upper hand, all Rick had to do is reach out and make that tag.
Yep, they keep him in that corner.
And that's very, very smart, folks.
And right now, Mountain Man's standing over all by himself and lonely.
Now, I'm sure Draven would love to reach out there and make that tag, but I'm telling you, as good as, and here you see Mountain Man
He's
pulling
trying to
him
pull
over.
him over there.
But what I was going to say, as good as Payne and Rick Roberts have functioned as a team, it's going to be hard for Draven to get over and make that tag, John.
It is surprising to me just how well Rick Roberts and Payne are acting as a tag team, because we saw their comments earlier. They did not want to team up.
No, they didn't want to team up at all. And the thing about tag team wrestling in era right now is we don't even have a division for it.
No.
So that's why this match is so out of left field. But I'm very entertained by it, to be honest with you.
It appears to me that anger that
And
they
there
had,
you see Rick Roberts
yep,
getting
He's
involved
attacking
from
Draven.
the outside right
and
there.
Mountain Man getting the referee's attention. It looked like he gouged the referee's eyes. That's what it looked like.
What in the... I have no idea what's going on right here, John.
I don't either. But
Did he intentionally gouge the referee's eye? What happened?
I think he was showing the referee what he saw happen. But by doing it to the referee, I don't think is the best way to handle it. He's lucky to get disqualified. But as I was about to say a second ago, it looks to me like the anger that Payne and Rick Roberts had toward each other and toward Kevin Akers when he made the announcement, they focused all that
Oh, and here,
anger
roll
into
up.
the
Here
ring.
we go. One, two, and we've
go.
seen Dexter York win just a few moments ago with a similar move. And Draven Lee pulling that out of his back pocket, so to speak.
But
And-
Payne's not Ron Sexton.
What's that supposed to mean?
I mean, Dexter might have got a small package on Ron Sexton and Rogue. You got the win, but Payne is no Ron Sexton or Rogue.
It doesn't make
He is
any
the era
difference who
television
you
champion.
are. It's the element of surprise in a move like that, John. You know that you've been around a long time. Doesn't really matter who you are.
He might have got surprised, but he still kicked out.
And here you got, I really don't know what's going on here. You know, you've got
I think that's the goal.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Rick Roberts and Payne have created so much confusion with the Mountain Man Draven Lee. Not that they needed any help, because Mountain Man's creating a lot of confusion for his team.
He got him in a standing guillotine right now. He's choking the life out of Draven.
But the referee had a bad angle there where I don't know if he even knew it.
Nope. And if Draven would just see where he was, he could have made the tag right there.
And right there you see him taunting the Mountain Man.
And Mountain Man just got smacked.
Again.
Yep.
And,
he's making it madder and madder. And the more angry Mountain Man gets, the more mistakes he's going to make.
And I'm going to tell you something, folks at home, this right here, it's hard to watch. I don't agree with their tactics, but Mountain Man Rick Roberts, or excuse me, Payne and Rick Roberts, they're really executing a great game plan here. We've seen Mountain Man Rick Roberts together so much over the last few weeks, they're all melded in my brain. I tell you, this one, you can't say one name without saying the other.
No, you can't. I'm surprised by now they hadn't melded into one person.
Man,
one
that's
very
a bad thought.
angry person.
That's a bad thought.
Up, Draven Lee's back.
Oh, and a big clothesline, and Draven needs to get over here, make this tag, get the Mountain Man involved, and he is going to make the tag. He did it.
Rick Roberts got tagged in, and he tagged back out. He don't want anything to do with Mountain Man.
Yeah, and here Mountain Man comes, and here he's got a 300 some odd pound guy standing in the corner. He should be focusing on, and what's going on? He's running after Rick Roberts.
He don't want Payne. He wants Rick Roberts.
And Payne gets a shot in right there. And folks, what are they doing? I guess they're, and you got Draven Lee perched up here. Everybody else is gone. Hits a big high cross body.
No, he's not going to get the pin that way. No,
1, 2,
no,
and he got him. A big upset, John. Draven Lee getting a clear-cut victory.
That's Rick Roberts' fault. That's not clear-cut. That's Rick Roberts' fault.
Well, let's point out, not without controversy. I'm not sure what the office is going to say. Draven Lee, not the legal man. But we're out of time, folks. We'll see you next week, everybody.